health and fitness. It's a new year, a new decade, so why not start it off on the right foot? Later this month, on January the 23rd and the 24th, OptiMYz Live will take place at the World Trade and Convention Center in Halifax. It's a two-day event geared at getting you healthy, both mentally and physically. David Holt is the author of OptiMYz, I should say he's the editor of OptiMYz magazine. He joins us now to give you a head start on making 2010 your best year yet. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
This is a great event.
Yes, it's pretty cool. We've been having a lot of fun with our magazine over the last 2 years, and now we're bringing it to life at the World Trade Center on the weekend of 23rd and 24th.
Oh, excellent. Well, I know you're going to have so many guest speakers, but what I want to focus on right now is just some points for people at home to actually make this their best year yet. You know, we always think that, you know, this is going to be the year. You've actually got a look at how we can do it. The first step is make a commitment to yourself.
Right, and our little top 10 list here, I think that's the best place to start, is make a commitment to yourself. We can start with the idea of fitness. We're having Andrew Russell, the Olympic paddler. When he was quite young, he realized that he was having so much fun paddling, he was going to make a serious commitment. It changed his life, and it shows you don't have to be an elite athlete in order to sort of go through the steps of getting fit, and it'll change everything else in your life. And
it's so funny, you say make a commitment to yourself. It's so hard to actually keep a commitment. You don't really consider yourself like letting yourself down. If you make a commitment to someone else, it's easier to keep those commitments.
Right, and that's what I've learned from meeting all these wonderful Olympic athletes over the last couple of years. They do have a great balance between, you know, they're in it for the big prize, but it's also just something they do for themselves, and they'd probably do it anyway if there wasn't competition.
Also, on a physical note, another thing to do this year is be flexible, or get flexible, literally.
Yes, and I've started doing yoga in the last year, and I've sort of gotten into the world of yoga, and it's something I've learned as well from these athletes who've starting it. It gives them a little extra edge. Grandmothers are starting it. It's probably the biggest fitness trend in the Western world now, and it helps you sort of tune into your body every single day because, you know, we change with the days. You'll get more flexible, you'll learn how to breathe properly, and it's probably the best thing you can do for your overall fitness.
Improve your posture even.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a great exercise. I was going to call it a sport, but I guess not.
Well, there is competitive yoga starting in the world, but that's sort of a fringe.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll have to get you on to talk about that later on. The other thing is balance your diet.
Yes, and there's different ways of looking at this term. One is the blend of sort of exotic foods from around the world. The world is your market. Pete Luckett is going to be coming in and talking about how to shop to put the exotic foods on the table. And then Lil McPherson of the Wooden Monkey will be talking about local foods, which tend to be very nutritious. They're not all full of chemicals, and they're good for the local economy. Yeah,
well, because they don't have to travel so far, they don't need to pump them full of those chemicals to keep them fresh artificially.
Right, and as the price of oil is going up, one of the benefits is there's more of a focus on local economy and local foods.
Yeah, and the sooner you eat something when it comes off of a tree or a plant, the better it is for you.
Yes, exactly. Freshness equals food value.
That kind of brings us to our next point here, which is eat power foods. What are some power foods?
Well, I guess a couple of power foods. One is great for the Atlantic coast is salmon. Another one is certain types of whole grains. Our food columnist Jennifer Brenton is going to be on talking about how you can make some of these foods the core of your diet. So it doesn't have to be complicated, but if you always have them in the fridge and on the counter, then you can always eat healthy.
I'd say blueberries are on that list too.
Yes, I have them pretty much every morning with my Red River cereal.
Ah, there you go. Another point is be adventurous.
Yes, and a lot of people's idea, the traditional vacation was, you know, go lie on the beach and have a martini.
Yeah,
and
which is fun too.
Sometimes that's the thing to do, but you can also have an adventure and you know, get exercise. We're going to have people from Freewheeling Adventures talking about cycling tours around the world. You know, where you go and you get your brain jazzed up by having the adventure and you get your body moving. Another one of our presenters is going to be talking about kayak expeditions and the sort of the basic skills you need so that you can go out by yourself with your family or take one of these expeditions.
Another point is reduce your odds of cancer.
Yes, and we all pretty much know this, how in just the last few years lifestyle is a huge factor in cancer, and it's not just genetics. So you have a lot of control over whether or not you get these horrible diseases. On the other hand, if you do get them, there's incredible research in Atlantic Canada. We're having Dr. Patrick Lee, who's an international star in cancer research, with 2 separate programs that are both just amazing.
Wow, well, we'll have to get him in this month as well. Another point that you talk about is learn how to control your thoughts and emotions, which is easier said than done.
Yes, and this goes back a little bit to the wisdom of yoga. And modern science is showing that, again, if you're stressed all the time, there's lots all going on in your life, and if you can manage your thoughts and emotions, it keeps the stress down, it keeps you physically healthier, and of course mentally healthier.
And your last point this morning is be grateful. We've run out of time, but in a nutshell?
Research shows that being grateful, again, you give service to the world and you appreciate what you have, and your whole sort of physiology changes and you have a better life.
A better perspective on life, for
Absolutely.
sure. If you'd like to be present for any of those presentations, or just go and take a look at what's out there, the OptiMYz Live event show is happening January the 23rd and the 24th at the World Trade and Convention Center. You can get more information by going to the website on your screen, OptiMYzLive.com. Thank you so much, David, for joining us.
Thank you.
We're going to take a break. We'll be back with more BT in just a couple of minutes. I want to tell you our hot topic ties into what we're just talking about. What can you do to make this the best year of your life? BT at ctv.ca. We'd love to hear from you. We're back in 2 minutes with more Breakfast Television right here on A. Stay tuned.
What are extreme